Leslie Jones.
If you could give a PSA to the young men who would kill for you, they're watching at home, I'm sure.
I have such a long list for you.
Of what? Of what?
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. Hey y'all, I just wanted to pop in and talk about this new interview that happened with Leslie Jones. Now, if you guys didn't know, Leslie Jones is a comedian. I know her from Saturday Night Live. Well, I think she was on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was on Saturday Night Live. But that's really where I know her from. I'm gonna be honest, I never found her to be funny. She kind of does this I'm the big aggressive black woman thing, and that's somehow the comedic joke. I never really found her to be funny, but she is a comedian. She is successful, and she's on this podcast, and they get to talking about her romantic preferences. And they also start talking about marriage. And she said that statement that all these bitter leftover broads are saying that marriage is slavery. Oh my God. What a slap in the face to all the people that actually go through slavery. What a slap in the face to our ancestors that went through slavery to refer to marriage as slavery. But let's watch the clip and then unpack what she said.
It sounds like you just like men.
Yeah, that's it. Especially powerful men.
You like a powerful man.
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive.
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
Obviously, clearly, she is very masculine. She almost sounds like a man when she talks. You know who she reminds me of? She kind of reminds me of EJ Johnson, Magic Johnson's son. I do want to give some accountability to her father, because what the actual hell? You do have a lot of men out here, because they know the nature of men, because they know that a lot of men are very lustful and don't have any intentions. Not all, obviously. There are some wonderful men out there that do move with intention, that do have good intentions. But there are some men out there who, because they know the nature of men and they know the nature of themselves, when they have daughters, they tell their daughters to stay away from men, just full stop. And then you have a couple different outcomes that can arise from that. So one outcome is, might just turn out to be a lesbian. You say, stop talking to them boys, don't talk about them boys, don't be around them boys, then they start being around girls. But then also, you could have this outcome where you have a heterosexual woman who behaves, postures herself like a man. It's not a good look on a woman, especially if you are claiming to be a heterosexual woman who wants a man. What man outside of a homosexual man wants to be with a manly woman? A man who is a heterosexual man, a truly heterosexual man, you know, not the hetero men that are messing with EJ Johnson, but real heterosexual men, they're gonna want to be with somebody that is the opposite of what they are. Not a masculine woman, but rather a feminine woman, a soft woman. But you have some fathers out here, which I'm glad they're in their child's life, but they teach their daughters to be like them, to be burly like them, to be masculine like them. And it really sets them up to have an identity crisis, because that's essentially what's happening here. You have an identity crisis. You want to be a woman, but you don't want to be a woman. You don't want to be feminine. You don't want to be a feminine being. But for obvious reasons, you still crave and desire a masculine man. That's why she's saying, yeah, I want a very dominant man. I want a powerful man. But what powerful man wants to be with a dominant, overpowering woman? Now, that's not to say that women can't have their own bit of power. That's not what I'm saying. You know, obviously people go into those extremes when you say, oh, well, they don't want to be a powerful woman. That doesn't mean you don't have any power whatsoever. It's just the dominating power, that masculine power. No masculine, powerful man is going to want to be with that unless they have some kind of dom kink. Unless they got some kind of dom kink. I don't see them really wanting to be with that, let alone be with someone like that in the forefront. What you'll have are some powerful men who will like that behind the scenes, but guess what? They're not wiping that up and they're not taking you out and about where everybody else can see that they're with you. No, that's something they keep tucked away. Okay, they hide that, and for obvious reasons. For her to get out here and say, yeah, my daddy told me not to be a wife. Well, guess what? Your daddy succeeded, because I highly doubt this woman, unless she gets her, I learned this through the comment section under my other video, unless she gets her a purse. That's the male equivalent of a beard. Unless she gets her a purse, I highly doubt she's going to be married in this lifetime, which is sad.
Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my
Absolutely
head.
not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
I have so many issues with this, not just with the blatant disrespect for those that actually have lived through slavery, our ancestors that survived slavery, not just with that, but also with the idea that being a trad wife or doing things that are traditional is just something that a woman could never possibly want for herself. Relating cooking and cleaning and all of this to, oh, well, you're just a slave. You're just a slave at that point. You're just a slave. It's so disrespectful to what slavery is, because these women that choose to be traditional wives, that's the very point. They're choosing. It's not like they're a child bride born into that situation and then forced to be in that situation. And this is why I'm so disgusted with modern Western women, is because we'll say things like this, oh, marriage is slavery. They'll say that through the lens of being a modern Western woman, where we literally have the world as our oyster. But you juxtapose that to, like I said, child brides in some of these third world countries where they don't have a choice. It literally is slavery for them. And y'all are sitting over here saying that a relationship that you're choosing to get into and choosing to be married, oh, that is somehow slavery. Y'all broads really do disgust me when you say that. First of all, cooking and cleaning, that's just a basic necessity that all people should know how to do. That is something that you're gonna be doing anyways, unless you're one of these young hoes. Unless you're a young hoe, then yeah, you're gonna be cooking, you're gonna be cleaning regardless, just as a functioning adult. What makes it different to now do that for a family? And here's the real tea. When you have children and they get older, guess what? They can help out. They can help out with the load. Hell, my little toddler, I put her to work, okay? I need her to throw something away for me. I hand it to her, put it in her little hands. She'll take it to the trash for me. You know, she wants to be helpful. So even as a mother, you do have extra hands that can help you. And if your man is a decent man, when you feel overwhelmed, he's gonna step in and help you out as well. So for these broads to get over here and just say, yes, legalize slavery, just it bastardizes what slavery actually was. It waters it down the same way they watered down what racism is, the same way they watered down what sexism is, the same way they watered down any serious term used to describe a destructive behavior. They water it down. Marriage or slavery? Get the fuck up out of here. But of course, a leftover woman is going to see marriage as slavery because it's cope. This is giving, I didn't want it anyways. Whole time, yes, it's exactly what you want. You want to be a Nara Smith, but you yourself feel like you can't be that because of how burly and masculine you are. It's a complex that she has about herself, and that's the reason why she's not even able to get anywhere near being the woman that she truly, deep down inside, I speculate, wants to be. But it's all self-inflicted. It truly is. Because you're grown. We could talk about how your dad raised you this, your dad raised you that. Sis, you are grown. What is she, in her 40s or 50s? I'm not 100% sure, but she's definitely past 40. She's over 40. You cannot lean on, well, my daddy told me not to get married. My daddy, no, at a certain point, you were grown and you should have started telling yourself what you truly needed to do in order to get what you truly wanted. But see, this whole marriage is slavery thing. It's just cope from a leftover woman. That's what a lot of these leftover women say. They demonize marriage because they know they'll never get married. So it's like, I ain't want it anyways. I ain't want it anyways. It's just like those trash dudes that will be like, hey ma, they trying to holler at you. And the moment you say, look, I'm not interested, I have a boyfriend. Well, you ain't anything anyways. You ain't that cute anyways. It's cope. It's obviously cope, and it's very childish and immature.
So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
no.
Obviously, a leftover woman is going to tell other women to be leftover like her. Why? Because misery loves company. Misery absolutely loves company. Yeah, don't get married because it's going to make her feel more validated in her choices. It's going to make her feel more validated in her outcomes if more women are left over like she is, because then it's not a her problem. If it's happening to all these women, then it's not me. It's just another way to dodge accountability. It's not me. It has to be everything else but me. But no, it is you. And now you're trying to convince other women to go down that path so you're not lonely in your misery. And I think that is just really toxic and disgusting. Like, ugh. Be a loser and go off into the corner somewhere. I don't have an issue if you genuinely just do not want to be married, if you genuinely just don't want to have kids, you want to do your own thing, but they don't sit over here and try to tell other people to live that lifestyle. They don't sit over here and try to demonize women who want to have children, who want to be wives. They don't sit over here and use this hyperbolic language to describe marriage as being slavery. No, they have their preference of being alone and they mind their business. Like, that's someone I could honestly say is happy with being in their situation because they're not sitting over here trying to cope and demonize everybody else for getting into marriage, for having children. I want to make sure I make that very clear. I don't have an issue with women who don't want to be wives or don't want to be mothers. I have an issue with antinatalism. I have an issue with people saying that having those long-term relationships, whether you want to get married or just not do it with the state or whatever the case may be, you want to be life partners with somebody, life spouses with somebody, and someone coming over there and demonizing it, making it seem like you're crazy for wanting companionship or you're crazy for wanting children. I will not stand behind that. I cannot cheer that on. I cannot support that whatsoever. So Leslie Jones is completely out of order, but understand this is coming from somebody who is miserable and coping, clearly.
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
That's crazy. Even the staff is coughing because they're like, bitch, you weren't getting married anyways. I don't believe in marriage. It's easy to say you don't believe in marriage when marriage was never in the cards for you. Duh. Oh, I don't believe in marriage. Okay, sis. This level of coping is just, it's sad. I'm not going to sit over here and dunk on how she looks because I don't think she's hideous. I think that she's much bigger than she needs to be, but I don't think she's a hideous woman. I don't think she styles herself correctly. I don't know if she's doing her makeup in a way that flatters her features. So I'm not going to sit over here and act like she's completely hideous, but the way she's carrying herself makes her unattractive. Aggressive, like masculine, I'm like a man type of, it doesn't look good on her. I don't think it looks good on any woman, to be honest. There's no other way to spin it, slice it, dice it. This is just cope. Ladies, if you want to be married, if you want to have children, don't let leftover broads try to convince you not to do that, or try to convince you that there's something wrong with you wanting to be married, with you wanting to have children. That is natural. Don't let anyone try to convince you that that natural instinct to want to get married, that natural instinct to want to settle down with somebody, that natural instinct to love somebody, find companionship for your life, have children. Don't let some leftover broad convince you that there's something wrong with that, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole situation? Do you agree with me where it's like, well, duh, duh, this leftover broad is demonizing marriage because it's something that will never happen for her? Or do you disagree with me where it's like, no, marriage is slavery, even though women are choosing to get married in Western society, even though you're literally just doing things that a functioning adult would do? I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. If you like the video, like the video. The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out into the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that function is available. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.